what official John Clinert had there. Now, yeah, it looks like, they're moving the ball back. Yeah, so it looks like it was probably going to be a unsportsmanlike on the Spartans, some excessive celebration after they recovered the fumble, and I believe it got pushed back half the distance of the goal. So the Spartans, they do get the takeaway. They get pushed back a bit. They will start 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line with 9:02 to play first quarter. Spartans 5-0 on the season. Rochester 3-2. Rochester also ranked in the top 5. They're number 5 rated team in the nation in NJCAA Division III football. Here's a handoff to Rondarius Gregory, and he's brought down quickly, and he might have lost a yard or two on that play. Yeah, he lost a yard on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 11. Spartans push back. Got to be careful. Take care of the ball here when you're so far deep in your own area. And Gregory, what a year he's had, coming off an All-American season last year. Huge game against Nassau a week ago. 226 total yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. So going out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. Gregory in the backfield. KJ Cooper, the quarterback, working out of the shotgun. And Cooper hands it off. Or no, he's going to keep it himself going forward, and it's going to be a short gain. And he maybe picked up a yard getting back to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 10 coming up for M State as they have the ball at their own 6-yard line. And a little bit conservative on the play calling. You can totally understand it being this far deep in your own territory. But we'll see if they open it up here on 3rd and 10 at all. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Gregory in the backfield, Cooper out of the shotgun. And Cooper back to pass. Pass across the middle, deflected, incomplete. And it got deflected, maybe a little dangerous as Travion Price thought he might have had a chance of that for Rochester, as I believe the pass was intended. Yeah, I couldn't quite catch a number on the pass coming across the middle intended for, but it will be 4th down and 10 here for M State, and Carson McKnight will come on the field to punt the ball. He does have a little bit of aid with the wind here, but he is standing right at the back of the Spartans' end zone. And this is where you need to have a good snap and take care of everything, and the Spartans look like they're going to call a timeout and talk things over. So we will take a quick timeout as well. 7:25 to play here in the first quarter. No score, and you're listening to Spartan Football on Channel 977.
Laura Quaintance is in studio with us. Laura is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls. If I'm a student coming in who has a passion for music and wants to pursue a profession in music, how are you going to equip me to get to that next level, and where do you see students go after the first 2 years?
It's a perfect place for them, first of all. They're home. This is where they should be. They can start at the level that they're at the comfort level that they're at, and we help them grow to be prepared for the next level in a university degree. Some students will decide they want to do music production, so they're coming and they're taking our technology courses related to music and music business and learning how to run a program or run a business. Some students want to come and take individual lessons and hone their skill on an instrument or on their voice, and then they transfer and become a music major or a music ed major or all of those opportunities. They can do all of that with us.
Laura Quaintance, she is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls.
Wow, big play here coming out of the break. The Spartans in the punt situation snapped it, and it went to their middleman, not to the punter. Running forward, he lost the football, and it was fumbled out of the end zone, and it will be a safety. And Rochester gets on the board first here with 7:18 to go. Really interesting turn of events. Spartans were kind of backed up deep in their own area, and McKnight was going to be punting from the back of the end zone, and ended up fumbling it out of the back of the end zone, and that is a safety. And Rochester will take the lead here, 2-0, with 7:18 to play here in the first quarter. So kind of a bizarre play there that's going to cost the Spartans a couple of points. The only good news out of it, they are going to be able to let Carson McKnight fire away a kick here and push the Yellowjackets deep back rather than maybe being cornered in on having to punt it out of the end zone, which might have some rhyme and reason to it, but it will cost the Spartans a couple, and he has a free kick, so he will kick it punt style, and it takes a bounce at the 33, takes a Spartan bounce. It's picked up by Jalen Jackson. Jackson at the 25, up to the 30, and he's brought down at about the 31-yard line, and that's where Rochester will take over, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. So 7:11 to play in the first quarter. Rochester leading 2-0, coming off that safety here with the ball being fumbled out of the end zone in that punting situation. Rochester put together a good drive on their first stanza, and then it was Silas Christie fumbling down at the M-State 13-yard line that put that drive to an end. And Christie will work out of the shotgun here. 3 receivers right, 1 to his left. And he is back to pass, looking left across the middle. It's incomplete. I think it's going to be incomplete. Spartans maybe thought it was a fumble, but I don't think he had it long enough. It'll be an incomplete pass, as the pass was in the hands of Aiden Pendleton momentarily before it popped out. Christie now 1 of 3 throwing the ball here this afternoon, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Rochester at the M-State, or at their own 31-yard line. Out to the right for Rochester is Chewell and Price, as the handoff goes to Sims, and what a tackle flying in, knocking down Sims for a loss. A beautiful play by Deshaun Carter, the defensive back, and that'll be a significant loss on a run play, a 4-yard loss. Man, they handed off to Sims, and Carter came flying in and dove low and tripped up Sims, and what a play that was. So a loss of, it was a bigger loss than 4. It ended up being a loss of 6. It'll be 3rd and 16 here coming up for Rochester. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Christie out of the gun here once again. And Christie back to pass, looking to his right. It's complete for a shortish gain, and that'll get him about 6 yards. Now a penalty marker comes down at the end of the play here again. A.J. Conte with the tackle for the Spartans. The pass was completed to Yacht Chewell, his 2nd catch of the game. And Chewell is slow to get up here, and penalty marker came down. I'm not sure what it is. Official John Clinert having a conversation with Spartan head coach Corey Miller here, as Rochester trainer out to take a look at Yacht Chewell, who's coming off limping here a little bit. But Spartans getting their punt return unit out on the field here. We're still awaiting the penalty as Chewell is slowly getting helped a bit off the field, and that'll be a player to keep an eye on if Yacht Chewell can come back. He's been a big part of the Rochester offense here through the season. So still the officials having a conversation. The penalty flag is still sitting at the 21-yard line. Let's see if I can hear what they have to say here. It's going to be, it's going to be a penalty on the Yellowjackets, and the Spartans are going to decline it. They'll just let the Yellowjackets get the 6 yards and force a 4th and 10. So it's going to be 4th and 10 as the clock should be starting. Clock should be starting here on 4th and 10 and a punting situation. And here comes a punt. Spartans almost got to it. Ends up being a low line drive, and it almost hit one of the M-State players, which would have been a fumble had they touched it. But it will be downed by the Yellowjackets right at about the 42-yard line. Whew. Spartans almost got there. I think it was Deshaun Carter that almost got there. the punter. But M State's going to have pretty good field position here. They'll have it. They're actually going to mark it at the 41-yard line is where they will take over. So 1st and 10. M State trailing Rochester 2-0 here in the first quarter. 5:57 to play in the first quarter. KJ Cooper coming on the field. Great season he has had. And Jacob Dreetz, a fullback. Rondarius Gregory in the backfield. It's Gregory with the handoff. Goes up the middle trying to find an opening. Not much there. It'll be maybe a yard for Gregory on the play. So, yep, it'll be a 1-yard gain for Rondarius Gregory. So 2nd down and 9 for the Spartans with 5.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Spartans coming off a great win a week ago, a dramatic win, beating number 3 in the nation, Nassau Community College out of New York. They traveled all the way from New York, and the game didn't disappoint. 40-36, the Spartans won as they scored a touchdown with 13 seconds left to win it. Cooper back to pass on 2nd down, swing pass, and he was under quite a bit of pressure, had to get rid of it, and swung it over in the direction of Isaiah Griffin, incomplete. So 3rd down and 9. So Spartans offense, a little tough time here getting going here. Their opening drive, they were really back down in their own area, and a couple run plays didn't get much, and here they've struggled to get anything going, but an opportunity here on a 3rd down conversion. 3rd and 9 at their own 42-yard line, trailing Rochester 2-0. Cooper out of the gun. 2 receivers to each side. Gregory off to his right. He's back to pass. Looking, stepping up now under a little bit of pressure. Across the middle, pass is complete. And I believe it's Isaiah Griffin, the 35, dragging defenders with him across the 30, all the way to the 26-yard line. What a great catch and run by Isaiah Griffin. And that is a gain of 32 yards on the play for Griffin. That's Cooper to Griffin. And we talked about the offense struggling here the first 5-6 plays. Not a real big sample size, but man, Griffin caught it across the middle. It wasn't bad coverage. He made the catch, and then he plowed his way forward, and he must have ran 8, 9, 10 yards with Yellowjackets all over him. So the Spartans have it 1st and 10 at the Rochester 26-yard line. Cooper back to pass. Across the middle, tip, deflected, and it is intercepted at the 10-yard line. That deflection was straight up in the air, and it's picked off by Terrace Consanary. And now Rochester will get the ball back. So a deflection, it went off the hands. Was it Hurst? And those deflections are trouble for the offense because it goes straight up in the air. It's such an easy play if the defender's in the area. And Terrace Consanary was in the area for Rochester getting the interception. And Rochester will take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. A penalty marker comes out, though, here before they can run their play. And again, we're so far away from the officials making the call. It's hard to hear exactly what they called, but they're going to move the ball back. It's going to be on Rochester. I don't know if it was a formation issue. So that'll push the ball back 5 yards to the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 15. So here is Christie, hands it off to Sims, going towards the left side. He's up to about the 15-yard line. Maybe the 16, 5 or 6 yards on the play. 4 minutes to play first quarter. Ball's going to be marked at the 16-yard line, so a 6-yard run for Laquan Sims. Sims, a running back from Westville, New Jersey. And it's 2nd down and 9. 2 receivers out to the right. Wide right is Cole Hermish for the Yellowjackets. No one in the backfield for the Yellowjackets. Christie back to throw, left side swing pass. It's complete near the sideline and knocked out of bounds for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. The reception goes to Zachary Cowan. And it ends up he was knocked out of bounds a little sooner than I thought. About a 3-yard gain on that pass play.
3rd and 6 for your Spartans defense.
So 3rd and 6 here for Rochester. They're at the Spartan at their own 19-yard line. And Christie out of the gun here. And he takes the snap, back to pass, swings it left side. It's complete, and that's going to be just enough for a first down. They knew exactly where the marker was. They needed about 6. Looks like they got 7 or 8 as the pass was complete to Aiden Pendleton. As Pendleton gets stopped at the 27-yard line, an 8-yard pass completion. Christie now 4 of 6 throwing the ball for 39 yards. Here's a run play. It's Sims moving to the left side up to the 30, across to the 32-yard line. Looks like he got around 5 on the play. So a 5-yard gain for Laquan Sims. He's got 8 carries already in the game. 2:20 to play first quarter. Rochester 2, M-State 0. It was a ball on a punt play that was fumbled out of the back of the end zone. That gave Rochester the 2-0 lead. As it is Sims, Laquan Sims in the backfield. Christie out of the gun. Pair of receivers on each side. Takes the snap, hands it off. Here comes Sims trying to turn the corner outside. Nowhere to go, and he's knocked out of bounds. And that looks like it's going to be a loss here, maybe of a yard or so. A.J. Conte forced him out of bounds. Yeah, and it's going to be a loss of a yard on the play. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 6. With 1:40 to play here in the first quarter. 3rd and 6, Rochester has it at their own 31-yard line. So big play here. Spartans looking to get their defensive stop. In the backfield now for Rochester, Datel Straub. A couple receivers each side again. Christie out of the gun. He is back to pass, looking left, dumps it off. It's complete, but I think he's going to be short of the first down as the pass was completed to Travion Price. And it looks like he got 3 yards on the play, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 3 with under a minute to play in the quarter. And the Yellowjackets bringing on their punt unit. Their punter is Joseph Tarnu from Osseo. And he is standing at his own 20-yard line. 4th and 3 for the Yellowjackets. There's a snap. He's got plenty of time. Low line drive kick. And it takes a neutral hop kind of in favor of the Spartans. And it is down. Looks like it'll be down at the maybe just shy of the 37-yard line. Spartans' own 37-yard line. 36-yard line, I guess, is exactly where it'll be. And M-State will take over 1st and 10. So these teams struggling to put points on the board here. The only point was off was forced by a defense, getting the safety. It's 2-0 Rochester. And Spartan offense coming back on the field. Showed a little spark after struggling early with a great reception by Isaiah Griffin. But then KJ Cooper's next pass was deflected and intercepted, and that ended that drive. Spartans try to get it going here on 1st and 10. They have it at their own 36-yard line. And out of the gun is Cooper. Back to pass. Pass deflected and almost went into the hands of a Yellow Jacket defender. Yeah, it was deflected nicely by Keyshawn Johnson for Rochester. And the ball kind of deflected and curled down towards Johnson, but he didn't have any vision on the ball. He was in traffic, and it went to the ground incomplete. So 2nd and 10, 22 seconds to play first quarter. Cooper out of the gun once again. Handoff comes to Rondarius Gregory up the middle, and the Yellowjackets quickly bring Rondarius down for a gain. Looks like only a yard on the play. And that should be the last play of the first quarter. Tackle made there by Rochester's Andrew Eriks. As the first quarter will come to a close here. A low-scoring first quarter. 2-0 is the score. Rochester on behind a safety out of the back of the end zone. They lead M State 2-0 at the end of the first quarter of play. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll have second quarter action here from homecoming weekend here at M State campus of Fergus Falls. You're listening to Spartan Football on Channel 977.
Jim Iverson is with us from M State.
You want
Jim
1 or
is
2
the
minutes,
director
Jace?
of bands. I said director
One
of
is good.
bands,
Thanks,
plural.
Ricky.
So
They usually
explain
get back
the
out
setup
fairly
here,
quickly.
What
Okay.
bands
Thank you.
do you have going at M State?
Okay, at M State we have concert band and we have jazz band. So those are the two performing groups that we have.
Do you have students overlapping and playing in both of those bands?
Yes, I have a number of students that are playing in both bands. A lot of our kids are, multi-talented.
Well, that's good, right? You like to have some versatility there.
That's correct. I have one of my students, he plays clarinet in concert band and then he's playing tenor sax in the jazz band, for instance.
Jim Iverson from M State. He's the director of bands.
Welcome back here to M State. 2-0, Rochester leading the Spartans in a battle between two of the top programs in the MCAC. A safety in the first quarter, or the only points put up on the board as the Spartans have the ball. It's third down. That should be 3rd and 9. Yeah, they got the chains at the wrong spot here. They move the chain. They're moving the chains back. Yep, now they're getting it to where they should be. So it's 3rd and 9 to start the second quarter. Spartans with the ball at their own 36-yard line. They had an incomplete pass and then a 1-yard run right before the quarter ended. So 3rd and 9, that is correct. And Cooper working out of the shotgun. Fakes a handoff, rolls to his right. He's under some pressure, looking, zings the pass, complete for a first down right at midfield. What a play by Cooper. He was under some big pressure, and he found on the near sideline, he got it to Isaac Freitag. And that was a gain as the ball is at the 49-yard line, a gain of 13 yards. Yeah, the Yellowjackets have put some good pressure on Cooper here so far. And he roamed to his right and really almost like a little bit of maybe a sidearm zinged it, and it had some juice on it. And Freitag makes the catch. Spartans have it at their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's Gregory with a handoff. Rondarius, now he's got some room to the 45, cuts back. He's got the first down. Rondarius Gregory, a gain of 10 or 11 yards on that play. There's some opening that Rondarius hadn't seen here in his first few carries. And it is a gain of 11 yards on the play for Rondarius Gregory. The biggest run by far of his 4 carries. So 1st and 10 M State as they enter Rochester territory here at the Yellowjacket 40-yard line. 14:05 to play, second quarter. Rochester leads 2-0. Going out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. 2 receivers right. Handoff, fake the handoff. Cooper's going to keep it himself and go up the middle and pick up 2 or 3 yards on the play. So Cooper looks like he got 3 yards on the play, or maybe it was only 2. Only 2 yards on the play, it looks like. So Cooper, 2-yard run. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans. Ball just shy of the 37-yard line. Cool afternoon here at M State Fergus Falls. Spartans working their offense here against the wind. The wind is not. The wind is certainly there, but not nothing over the top that they can't handle. As Cooper is back to pass, looking right side, looking deep down the right sideline, and pass is intercepted. It was underthrown a bit as he tried to get it to Hurst, and it's incomplete. Now there's going to be a penalty coming after the play as the Yellowjackets, little excessive celebration, but second interception Second time Cooper has been picked off here today. And the good news is for the Spartans, they threw it deep down the sideline, so it was, in some ways, it would maybe work as a where you punted it down there. And now Rochester with this penalty is going to get pushed back, I believe, half the distance of the goal. I'm assuming it's an unsportsmanlike excessive celebration penalty. Yeah, and that's what it's going to be. They're going to move it back half the distance of the goal. So 13:03 to play. Rochester gets the ball back here, leading M-State 2-0. So the ball gets all the way back. The interception was made at the 8-yard line, and so it gets pushed back to the 4. So similar to what the Spartans saw in the first quarter, Rochester turned it over down deep on the end. Spartans had a penalty that pushed them back farther, starting deep, and now Rochester's going to start deep in their own territory at their own 4-yard line, 1st and 10. Christie out of the gun. Takes a snap, handoff comes to Sims, working right, hit quickly and brought down, and it's either no gain or a loss. I think it's going to be no gain on the play. As Laquan Sims, yep, no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 here coming up. Jacob Dreets on the tackle for M-State. 12:40 to play, second quarter. And Christie works out of the gun. He'll have 3 receivers to his left this time. Wide left is Cole Hermish. 1 out to his right. And it looks like Sims in the backfield here. And back to pass in his own end zone. Lofts it down the right side, and it is overthrown, incomplete. Try to get it on the far sideline to Aiden Pendleton. And it'll bring up third down. 3rd down and 10. Now if you're the Yellowjackets, are you aggressive in trying to get the first down? Do you try to run the ball to give yourself a little more breathing room if you have to punt it here? Spartans found themselves in that situation deep back in, and it cost them as they ended up having to take a safety off a fumble out of the back of the end zone in the first quarter. Looks like there's a timeout here on the field. And we will just Rochester's going to call a timeout, but we'll keep it right here with 12:14 to go and talk a little bit about M-State and the Fergus Falls campus. And there's no longer an application fee at M-State. M-State has removed a potential barrier to higher education for prospective students and also encouraging more people to advance their education. So anyone who applies for M-State for numerous years and wherever you applied for in many colleges, the application fee was a pretty standard fee. That has been taken away, and helpful in removing a barrier to help people advance their education. M-State, Fergus Falls. 2-0 is the score. Only scoring play, a safety. 7:18 in the first quarter is all it's been. Otherwise, both defensive sides have been battling it out here. And Rochester has the ball 3rd and 10, but it's from their own 4-yard line. And they took a timeout to talk about exactly what they wanted to do here, see if they come out and execute. And it is Christie working out of the shotgun, surveying the land, now ready to go. And he takes a snap. He's back to pass in his end zone, goes to the right side. It's complete, and that's a first down. They executed. And getting knocked out of bounds at about the 19-yard line was Zachary Cowan for his second catch. So that moves the chains, and the Yellowjackets could have been conservative. They decided to go the aggressive route, and they were rewarded. 14-yard gain to the 18-yard line, so 1st and 10. Rochester at their own 18-yard line. And here is Christie, hands it off. Sims, he's met quickly and pushed back. Good job defensively by the Spartans. Right there making the play for M-State is Keandre Hodges, the defensive lineman. And it is going to end up being no gain on the play for Sims. Sims had a 12-yard run and a 6-yard run, but other than that, the Spartans have really held him so far anyway. So 2nd and 10, Rochester at their own 18-yard line, 11-10 to play second quarter. And here's Christie. Back to pass. Going to the right side, it's complete. Pushing his way forward for a good positive gain, a little shy of the first down, is Zachary Cowan.
Short for the Jackets.
And that looks to be an 8-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 2. As Christie has now completed 7 passes for 64 yards. So 3rd and 2 here for the Yellowjackets. They're going to hand it off up the middle, banging his way forward across the 30 and first down yardage to the 31-yard line. And there's something going down there. I think some people thought there should have been a flag there at the end, but it's going to be a first down up to the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 4 yards for Moses Hancock. And Rochester has it 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. 10:20 to play for second quarter. And Christie out of the gun again. They like 2 receivers to each side. He's back to pass, swings it left side, incomplete. Under a little bit of pressure there. Intended pass to Cole Hermish. So 2nd and 10 coming up for Rochester with 10:05 to play in the second quarter. See if the Spartan defense can get that stop here, get the ball back, and get some offensive momentum going. Been tough sledding for both teams offensively here so far, and here's the handoff. Coming back and wrapped up again quickly right there to meet the ball carrier for M State. And that was, that was Ebenezer Debula. Great play there defensively for Debula. And that'll be a loss of 2 yards on the play. So 3rd and 12 here for M State. And Christie working out of the shotgun here. 3rd and 12 for Rochester, I should say, from their own 28-yard line. And Christie back to throw, looking across the middle. Pass is complete. A little bit of room to run. Can the Spartans stop? They will stop him before they get the first down. As Dreetz makes the tackle. The pass was completed to Jamari Williams. So Jamari Williams with the reception. It was a 10-yard gain, but not enough for a first down. Ball got to the 38-yard line, so Rochester has it 4th and 2 from their own 38. 8:50 to play second quarter. And going back deep for M State, Denzel Miller to return the punt. He's going to stand right around his own 30-yard line. Rochester punter Joseph Tarnew stands at his own 24-yard line. 4th and 2. Got to be careful on a... Yep, and they're going to fake it going up the middle. Did the Spartans stop it? They did. They stuffed it going right up the middle, and the Spartans are going to get great field position. The Yellowjackets decided to go for the fake. They snapped it right to Caleb Waldron, and Waldron tried to go forward, and he was met. That didn't surprise anyone on the Spartan side. And the M State is going to have great field position. They will start 1st and 10 at the Rochester 38-yard line. And good play there by the Spartans. I think Danny Disterhoff might have been in the middle of that play. There were a few Spartans in there, though. And M State will have the ball, trying to get some offensive momentum going. A couple turnovers already have really held the Spartan back. A couple interceptions, one deflected in the first quarter, and then another one underthrown by Cooper in the second quarter. Cooper working out of the shotgun. And now the Yellowjackets are going to be offsides. And I think the Spartans thought they were going to have a free play there. They blew the whistle dead as the Yellowjackets came flying in to the neutral zone, well ahead of the snap. So waiting for the official confirmation, but it is going to be offsides on Rochester. So that'll move the ball up 5 yards for the Spartans. Second time the Yellowjackets have been penalized today. Move it up to the 33-yard line. First down and 5 here coming up.
For the Spartan offense.
Cooper working out of the gun. 2 receivers left. Out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. 2 to the right, and out wide right is Isaac Freitag. Cooper swing pass left side and being tripped up and brought down for a loss. Good job there by the Yellowjackets defense as Tony Friends got the swing pass, and he's pushed back. Yeah, he's pushed back 4 yards on the play. So that one, you don't see pass receptions too often going for losses of 4 yards, but they tried to set up a screen, and the Yellowjackets weren't fooled. So it's going to be second down and 9 here now after that 1st and 5 play. Cooper, no one in the backfield here. And KJ Cooper back to pass, roaming to his right, swings it over. Pass is it complete? I believe it is complete. Good job there by Isaac Freitag. It was some nice footwork to stay in bounds. And I think he's got the first down, just enough for a first down. He's out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That'll be an 11-yard gain for Isaac Freitag, his second catch of the game. And the Spartans have it 1st and 10 at the Rochester 26-yard line, trailing Rochester 2-0. 6:50 to play, second quarter. Cooper out of the gun. Friends goes in motion to the right side. Gross slot right. Back to pass Cooper. Looking, dumps it off. Pass is complete to Friends. Inside the 15, banged out of bounds at the 13. A big hit, but that is going to be a first down for M State. Man, good play, offensive play by the Spartans. A big hit there by Rochester. That'll end up being a 13-yard gain on the play for the Spartans. Spartans getting their passing going game here a little bit as they have it 1st and 10 at the Rochester 14-yard line. In the red zone here. Cooper out of the gun once again. Here's the handoff to Rondarius Gregory. Tripped up from behind, and Gregory is brought down for the loss. Nice tackle there made by Travion Johnson of Rochester. And that'll end up being a loss of 3 yards on the play. So the Yellowjackets have done a nice job so far of containing Gregory. But he's a big play waiting to happen, but the Yellowjackets have done a nice job so far. So 2nd and 13 for M State. 5:40 to go, second quarter. Gregory in the backfield, 2 receivers to each side. And here's Cooper back to pass. He's roaming to his left. Lofts it towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Man, man was breaking free open. It was Eustace McGowan. Maybe the pass was a little low. It was a tough angle for Cooper to throw. He was running to his left, throwing right-handed, and the pass was maybe a hair low, and I think Eustace would say he would normally maybe make that play. But it was a tough play both sides, and the Spartans just couldn't quite pull it in. He had the ball in his hands in the end zone and just couldn't hold on. So 3rd and 13 coming up. Cooper is now 5 of 10 throwing the ball for 65 yards. And 3rd and 13. And Cooper out of the shotgun. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Trying to scramble away. Dumps the pass off, incomplete. And it's important that Cooper got rid of that, because if they would have got to him, he would have been, well, I don't want to say out of field goal position with McKnight, but it would have made it way more difficult. So Carson McKnight is on to kick the field goal after that incomplete pass. And it will be a 35-yard attempt here coming up. And McKnight is going to be working against the wind here a bit, so a little bit of a deterrent. It's going to play a little bit longer than what the yardage states here. Here's the snap. It's down. The kick is up a high kick, and it is through. McKnight kind of wasn't one of those bullet kicks, but he got the job done. Lofted up in the air. You could see the ball battling the wind a little bit, but McKnight's 35-yard field goal is good. The Spartans take the lead 3-2 with 5:17 to play here in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back in a moment. This is Spartan Football on Channel 977.
Jeff Sands is a member of the music faculty at M State. As far as your role as an instructor goes, you're doing classroom instruction and individual lessons. Just give us a little idea of the variety of things that you're emphasizing.
I kind of break our program down almost into kind of two little areas. One of them which was geared towards music majors, so that would be like the music theory courses. So we have a 4-course sequence that the students have to take. I teach those courses, but then I also teach courses which we call our survey courses, which are geared really towards anybody on campus that is interested in those topics. They might cover specific goal areas that they need to meet for their liberal education. That's kind of most of what I do. I also do, again, have individual lessons too, which are instrumental. I'm more of like the instrumental side of things when it comes to the courses here.
Jeff Sands from M State in Fergus Falls.
So Carson McKnight continues to be a awesome force for the Spartans kicking the ball. 35-yard field goal is good, and he has launched the kickoff here, and it's fielded at the 11-yard line by Rochester, trying to get outside. A little bit of room, 30, 35, got some more room up to the 45, cross midfield, and finally tripped up at the 40-yard line. A great return there made by Devontae Roberts. That was a return of about 50, right in the range of 50 yards, and that'll give Rochester fantastic field position at the Spartan 40-yard line just after the Spartans took the lead.
Yellowjackets take over on the Spartan 40.
So 1st and 10, Rochester at the M State 40-yard line. Spartans now lead at 3-2. It's not baseball season. That's what it feels like with a score here. But just a safety and a field goal. No touchdowns yet with 5:05 to play in the second quarter. Spartans almost had a touchdown a moment ago on the pass from Cooper to McGowan. Just couldn't quite haul it in, and they had to settle for the field goal. Here is Rochester on 1st down. Running left side is Sims. He's wrapped up for a gain of 2 or 3 yards. Disterhaft in there on the tackle for the Spartans. Also in the area was Cheo Trotter. It'll be looks like a 2-yard gain for Sims. 12 carries, 30 yards in the game for Laquan Sims. Both teams' defensive units playing great football here today. It's a play in a game like this where special teams, where you get the ball returned at 50, 60 yards, is an opportunity if you're Rochester you want to take advantage of here as they work on 2nd and 8. Christie back to pass, swing pass left side, goes through the hands, incomplete. He tried to get it to Caleb DuPaul, the tight end, and that was incomplete to DuPaul. So 3rd and 8 here now coming up for the Yellowjackets with the ball marked just shy of the 37-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. The far right receiver for the Yellowjackets is Aiden Pendleton. Christie out of the gun. Back to pass, looking under pressure, wrapped up, and he is brought down for the sack. Keandre Hodges brings him down at the 46-yard line in a big play as Christie was trying to get it off. He had a man off to the right that maybe would have had some room to his running back, I believe might have been. But Hodges got there, grabbed him, wrapped him up, and put him to the ground before he could get anything off. And that ends up being a loss of 7 with the sack by Keandre Hodges and a punting situation for Rochester with 3:43 to play, second quarter. And here's Joseph Tarnew, a high punt, and fair caught, fumbled and picked up, and now knocked into the end zone. It's going to be down at the 2-yard line as retreating to field it was Denzel Miller. And maybe a situation where Denzel needs to let that one take a bounce and take your chances. It goes into the end zone.
Denzel called for a fair catch.
But he ended up calling for the fair catch. He fumbled it briefly, then he picked it up and was knocked back. Now the officials are conferring. Now we're hearing that maybe it should be a safety. His forward progress should keep him at the very least the 1 yard line, because he fumbled it and picked the ball up at about the 1 or 2 yard line, and then he was knocked back into the end zone. So with forward progress, and it looks like they are going to mark it at the 2 yard line. But Spartans' precarious offensive spot here at their own 2 yard line. 1st and 10. And 3.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. M State leading in this defensive battle 3-2. As Cooper out of the gun in his own end zone. He's back to pass, looking to throw. Roaming to his right, dumps the pass off. It's complete to Gregory. He is drilled out of bounds at the 5. And that'll be helpful for the Spartans to get him a little bit of extra breathing room. That'll be a gain of 3 yards on the play. That's Gregory's first catch. And it'll be actually at about the 6 yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 here coming up for M State. So Cooper is going to work out of the shotgun here again to the right. 2 receivers left. He's coming up the middle. Cooper on the move. Now he loses the football, and it's picked up by the Yellowjackets, and into the end zone for a touchdown goes Keyshawn Johnson. And Rochester regains a lead. You could see that one coming. Cooper was scrambling, and you could see the Yellow Jacket coming from behind, knocking it loose. And they scooped it up, and it was Keyshawn Johnson on the fumble recovery, running into the end zone from about 5 yards out. And Rochester now with the lead, 8-3 with 2:47 to play in the second quarter, as the defenses continue to dominate here. As coming on to kick the extra point for the Yellow Jackets is Fernando Vera, the kicker from Appleton, Wisconsin. And Vera down, the kick is up, and it is good. Extra point by Fernando Vera is good. So big play there by the Rochester defense, forced the fumble, get into the end zone, and they now lead at 9-3. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Spartan football after this.
We're joined by Lori Charest, and Lori is the ceramics instructor at M State and a big part of the art program there. She and John Cox run that program. What can you tell me about what the classes would be like?
There's always an element of lecture, demonstration, work on your own.
Hey, Jace,
There's
just giving you a little heck, a little reminder on them wrestling
Time
trophies.
with the instructor there. And I think that's another really
Sounds good, Ricky. I'll have to wander back there and see if we can see anything for sure.
We are the teachers, and so we have
Thank you.
a wealth of experience to share with the students.
Lori Charest from the art department at M State in Fergus Falls.
Oh, what a big play by the Rochester defense. Coming from behind, knocking the ball loose out of KJ Cooper's hands, and it was Keyshawn Johnson picking up the ball around the 5 yard line and getting into the end zone for a defensive touchdown, the first touchdown of the game, and Rochester leads at 9-3, 2:47 to play second quarter, and it's Fernando Vera. Well, actually, it's Julius Bootrup Erickson kicking it away for Rochester, and it is fielded at the 3 yard line. A.J. Conte to the 15, and he is hit hard and pushed back. Conte kind of hesitated for a moment, wondering if he should change directions, and the Yellow Jackets met him and pushed him back quickly. And the Spartans, again, Spartans haven't had great field position a lot starting their drives, and then again, they won't have great field position here, as they will start it. It'll be at their own 12 yard line, starting it out 1st and 10. But Spartans have the big playability. We'll see if they can get the offense going here with 2:41 to play in the first half. KJ Cooper coming on out. Eustace McGowan out wide left. 2 receivers on each side, and Cooper is back to throw. Swings it over, has his man open at the 16 to the 20, up to the 25 to the 26 yard line is Isaac Freitag. So Freitag gets the reception. Looks like a gain of about 14 yards. So 1st and 10 M State as they have it at their own 26-yard line. 2:20 to play now in the second quarter. And Cooper out of the shotgun. Now he's back to pass on 1st down. Looking across the middle. He goes, another interception. He's picked off and wrapped up and brought down at the 38-yard line as the reception is made, or the interception made by Devonta Roberts. So Rochester will have it and start with 2:04, plenty of time to go here. They'll start it at the M State 38-yard line. So tough first half here for KJ Cooper. What a great year he's had all year long, but it's been a tough first half. 3rd interception of the game for Cooper. And with 2:04 to play, Rochester looking to put some more points up on the board here before the half. As Christie out on the field, working out of the gun here for Rochester on 1st and 10. He takes it, and a little indecision, and he is brought down quickly. Good play there by the Spartans defense. A little indecision there from the Yellowjackets on that offensive play. But making the play there for M State, the two main defenders, Keandre Hodges and Chris Heidel. And that'll be a loss of 3 yards there on that run for Silas Christie. So our clock continues to tick. It's a minute and a half to play second quarter. 2nd and 13 for the Yellowjackets. Christie out of the gun again. 3 receivers left this time and 1 out to the right. And Christie back to pass. Looking left side. Ball's in the air. Caught and complete. And pushed out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. That was a very nice pass from Christie. Spartans had pretty good coverage. Conte leaped to try to deflect it. It just went right over his hand and complete to Aiden Pendleton. And that'll be a gain of about 19 yards on the play to Pendleton. So a minute 13 to go. And here is the handoff. It's going to be Sims wrapped up and brought down quickly for a short gain. Maybe a yard or 2 for Sims on 1st and 10. And it'll be a 2-yard gain for Laquan Sims. So 2nd and 8. We're now inside of a minute, 54 seconds to be exact. Rochester has it with the ball just shy of the Spartan 20-yard line. Rochester taking their time here in the huddle as some clock continues to tick. And now Christie out of the gun. 2 receivers out to each side. Sims right behind him in the backfield. And Christie fakes the handoff. Back to pass. Across the middle. It is incomplete. Oh, it looked like they had their man for a moment, but it was deflected down. A touchdown saving play by Denzel Miller across the middle, deflecting it loose. And it'll bring up 3rd down at the 20-yard line with 24 seconds to play here in the first half. Yeah, big moment here for both teams. The Yellowjackets could get that defensive touchdown and then get the interception and more points. That would be a major swing here in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the half. If the Spartans can get a stop here, give them a little bit of momentum going into the locker room to regroup for the second half. 24 seconds to go, 3rd and 8. Rochester has it at the Spartan 20-yard line. There's some movement, and I think it's going to push the Yellowjackets back 5 yards. And it is a false start on Rochester. So that'll push him back to the 25-yard line, actually the 26-yard line. So 3rd down. 3rd down and 14 coming up here for Rochester. 24 seconds to play in the half. Rochester leading M State 9-3. And Christie working out of the gun here again. And he's back to pass. Scrambling now out to his right, under some pressure. Dumps the pass off, incomplete, almost intercepted as Jacob Dreetz almost got his hands on the football there, but it is incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down. And we'll see what the Yellowjackets do. Are they going to try a long field goal, or are they going to go for it? They are going to try a long field goal, it looks like, as Julius Buchup Erickson is on to attempt a 43-yard field goal. Interesting, it was Vera who did the extra point, but it's Buchup Erickson attempting the long field goal. He's got the wind helping him from 43 yards. It is down, it is in the air, and it is no good, wide right. He had enough leg on it, that's for sure. It disappeared high into the trees, but there is a penalty marker now on the field, and it may be another opportunity. Spartans are hoping it wouldn't be an automatic. Well, there's 10 seconds to play here. Let's sort out what this penalty is. It was you can see Buchup Erickson, he's got a good leg on him too. It was a high kick that had plenty of distance, just a little wide right. But the officials here sorting out, yeah, it must be on the Spartans. It looks like they're communicating with Rochester on what they wanted. Still waiting to get a signal here. Is it a personal foul?
No, it's roughing the kicker.
Yeah, roughing the kicker. Looks like they ran into the kicker, roughed the kicker, and they moved the ball up. Yeah, the ball is moved up all the way to the 21-yard line. So, yeah, it was running into the kicker, I believe is what it was, and that would be a 5-yard penalty. So that moved the ball up to the 21-yard line. As conversation still going on here with officials and coaches trying to sort things out. So it's going to be a repeat 4th down, I believe. I don't know why they wouldn't. I mean, they missed the field goal. They of course, they would accept the penalty. Now they've picked the ball up again, and it looks like it's being moved up further. Yeah, the ball is moved up further. All the way up to almost the 12-yard line. So that is going to make the field goal much more attainable here if they go for the field goal. Well, actually, it's going to be 1st down. They're bringing the offensive unit out. They got 10 seconds, so they can sure throw. They got to make sure they yeah, it looks like a roughing the kicker, and it's going to be 1st and 10, Rochester, with the ball at the Spartan 12-yard line. 10 seconds to play. Rochester leading M-State 9-3. And here is Christie back to pass. Steps up, lofts it towards the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Flag comes down. Corey Miller not happy. He thinks it might be a late hit on the quarterback. Oh, it's going to be a hold. It's not going to be a hit. So that's going to push the Yellowjackets back, and that is a costly penalty. When you're thinking about they run an extra play to get a shot in the end zone, but now it's going to make the field goal 10 yards more difficult. And that's probably going to put the field goal in a very similar position to where it was a couple minutes ago when they missed it. So the ball will be moved back to the 23-yard line. And it is Buchup Erickson on to attempt a 40-yard field goal. So the field goal is about 3 yards shorter than what it was a few minutes ago. So he'll get another crack at it. The snap is down. The kick is up. And this time it is good. Buchup Erickson knocks down the field goal. That's penalty on the Spartans. That running into the kicker was costly. It cost them 3 points. And that is the final play of the first half. And your halftime score here on homecoming weekend here at M-State. 12-3, Rochester leading M-State here at the half. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going to have an interview coming up at halftime, and then after that interview, we'll return with a quick recap of the first half and the second half of this Spartan football matchup. Spartans trail Rochester 12-3. We'll be back just after a little bit, and we'll go right on to the interview.
Stephanie Gerhardson is with us, the director of the theater at M State.
Jace, that interview is
If you
15
have
minutes.
A person who's really interested in pursuing theater at the next level.
Yep, sounds good.
what are
Thanks,
the
Ricky.
Things that really will benefit them by coming to M State first and getting that their footing in theater and maybe just figuring it out which way they want to go.
The thing about it is, we are obviously smaller. The benefit of that is you get to do everything. You kind of get exposed to everything, whether you want to or
Hey,
not.
Jace, do you know if there's any
And so
like
I have
old
students, standing on the
singlets
stage
or
while I'm trying to focus lights or-
warm-up uniforms for the wrestling team?
Still need to start getting
I'm KJ Cooper, freshman quarterback from El Paso, Texas.
stagecraft class and kind of figure it out. So because we are smaller, a lot of my students have to multitask. I will have a student being an actor and stage manager, which is really hard. But they can do it, and so they just are able to experience everything, and they don't have to pick.
Steph Gerhardson from the college theater department at M State. Halftime, and Corey Miller is with us, the head coach of the Spartan football team. And just so you know, we aren't doing this at halftime. He's got things to tell his kids. This is prior to the weekend, but we wanted to catch up with Corey and just talk about his team a little bit because, well, it's been a great start to the season, undefeated on the year. That always sounds good no matter when it is, right, Corey?
Absolutely. I mean, it makes life a little easier and fun. Every Monday you're in a positive feeling. You're feeling good as you go through. I mean, we view everything kind of as 1 week seasons and stuff. Our goal at the end of each week is to be 1-0, and you just kind of try to keep stacking them and things like that. And we've had, a couple really close games we've been able to pull at the end, so that always makes you feel pretty good. And, we're still obviously still need to keep improving as we, get the back end of the season here, but it makes life a lot easier when you're winning.
Well, let's talk about a couple of the wins in particular because a huge win at NDSCS, first of all, that really, I think, established the Spartans as the team to beat.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime, this game between us and Science has now turned into quite the rivalry. Obviously, both very talented teams, and, the last two games have come down to the last play of the game and to decide the winner. And luckily for us, we've ended up on that, the winning side of things. But, I think once you beat a team like that, that's kind of got the history and the winning and things like that, it gives it a little bit more credibility to what we've built here from a program standpoint, and that we're just not a flash in the pan, that, we're here to stay, and, Fergus Falls is going to have a good football program that you're going to have to contend with, and that's big.
Well, and to win over there on their field is huge. But then to come back home and face a nationally ranked team that had a lot of reason to come in here and prove themselves, your guys responded again with another comeback win in the final minutes. So the confidence just seems to be there right now.
No, we got a group of guys that, they know how to win. And they tend to, start a little bit last year, and they built on it this where they find a way to pull it out, there at the end. Obviously we kind of, made it a lot more interesting than maybe we should have. But, that's a good football team. They were the national runner-up last year, lost to the national champion, I think, by like 1 point in the national championship game. They've been very successful. In the early season, they played 2 scholarship junior colleges, which is, 2 very talented teams. They've lined up against some really good guys. And for our, we didn't know quite what we're going to get. We knew it was a good football team, but obviously not being in region and stuff like that, there's a lot of unknown with it. And, we came out and they were fired up and, from the start and really got after it, and that was good to see.
So people have asked me, and I don't know the story, so we'll get it right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. How did they wind up on the schedule? How did that game come about?
So Itasca suspended football for the season, so there ended up being a bye week. And then during the springtime, they reached out to some MCAC schools about getting on the schedule. Out on where they're at in the East Coast, there's not as many schools like us that are non-scholarship, so they got to kind of fill their schedule with either scholarship JUCOs, which is tough when you're a non-scholarship to go play a team that has scholarship players all the time, or they have to play kind of prep schools, which isn't really much competition for them. And so they wanted to get a game against somebody, and a couple of the other conference teams didn't want to play them, and so they reached out to us, and the dates worked where the Itasca game was. And so, for us, it was kind of, to me, a no-brainer when they're going to come out here. So it's nothing that costs us. But two, it's, our guys deserve the opportunity to play against quality football opponents and be able to prove themselves. And we felt we had a team that could compete. But it's also been a long time since somebody from our conference has beat somebody outside of the conference. And for us to make make us a legitimate program in the voters' eyes on the national stage, we got to go beat somebody like that. And so to get them on the schedule and beat them now shows that like we are a team that can go and play with other teams out of state. We're just not a team that plays Minnesota teams, and it gives our program a lot of credibility and a huge program win.
Well, and after those two big wins, now the last thing you need is a letdown, right? And sometimes you're riding that momentum and that high, and now you've got a tough game with Rochester coming up. How much of a concern is that to the coaching staff?
I think sometimes it gets talked about, you think, oh, you win a big game, it affects. I think maybe there might be something to that a little bit, but, it's about teaching guys respect for winning, and what we did on Saturday was hard. It's hard to win a college football game, and so it's hard to go undefeated. When you look at, like, the Georgias and the Alabamas and things like that, they've had some undefeated teams, but they've had national championship teams with a loss. It's hard to be undefeated, in the college football game. Really, where you look at your guys' focus is, it's one game you can't.
I'm KJ Cooper, freshman quarterback from El Paso Second.
My name is McKnight, sophomore kicker and punter from Colby, Utah.
Hi, my name is Griffith. I'm a freshman left tackle in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Turbo Green, sophomore receiver from that way, Kansas City.
Isaiah Griffin, sophomore wide receiver, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
My name is Joey DeMarco. I'm a sophomore safety, and I'm from DPSC, Illinois.
Dan Tag, freshman linebacker, Mount Morris. Joe Sanders, sophomore linebacker, Greenville, Mississippi.
T-shirt, freshman wide receiver from Buffalo, Minnesota.
Online, sophomore trainer, Lexington, Texas.
Willie Granson, sophomore, Well One, I'm from East Wayne, Illinois. Frontiers Gregory, running back, sophomore, Nashville, Tennessee. Go Spartan.
If you're a student or a parent or a community member wondering why people should choose M-State when there are so many options around, I want to tell you should choose M-State because of the employees who work here and our focus on student success. We really are, in every aspect of our work, focused on changing lives and making a difference in our communities. Not every college or institution can say that, and I can tell you that we not only say it, but students say it to us, and they feel it every single day. It's really hard to describe what's different about M-State. So if you're thinking about colleges or just wondering what is that difference, what is that thing that people talk about, I'd encourage you to come to one of our campuses for a visit. And certainly if you're here, I'd also encourage you to reach out to me directly, and I can tell you from experience as a graduate of this institution that it's a special place, and we look forward to serving you.
Play that championship game, and so I definitely think there's motivation, but I think there's also this group's some of this group's been together since the
Don't settle for just any job. M-State's here to help you launch a rewarding career in the healthcare industry as an entry-level limited scope operator. Learn more today at minnesota.edu/limited scope radiography. We all know that learning a new skill like sign language can take a lot of time and a lot of patience, which is why at M-State, we speed things up. Start your journey today at minnesota.edu/American Sign Language.
Welcome to the Creation Shop. This is a pottery sculpture workshop inspired by my cartoon character Tom. Within this space, I teach classes, individual, private classes. If they feel more comfortable with somebody else, we can do 2 people, families, parties, and we even opened up the doors to a team building exercise for a local business downtown. So in 2012, I studied in China. Coming home from China, I attended school at M-State Fergus Falls. My professor was Lori Charest. Here I was doing the hand building and 3D advanced pottery classes, and this was an opportunity for me to continue my skills. The Creation Shop has a fun and inspiring nature. I think that once people start to feel that and feel the space and get energized in this space, it's something that can be much bigger.
Bring them in and develop them, and if you can do that, not that you don't need talented skill players, but they're a lot easier to recruit.
Got a passion for power sports? Let's make it a career at M-State.
You got an All-American back this year in Rondarius.
Engage, empower, lead. A business or organization is only as strong as its human resource team, which is why M-State is committed to keeping companies strong. Start your HR journey today at minnesota.edu/human resources.
My name is Brooke Hovland. I'm a sophomore right side from Underwood, Minnesota. Hi, my name is Lindsay Cruz. I'm a sophomore middle hitter from Fisher, Minnesota. Hi, I'm Bailey Marty. I'm a sophomore libero from Kyle, Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Kendra Emery. I'm a freshman outside DS from East Grand Forks, Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Elena Anderson. I am a sophomore middle right side hitter and I'm from Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Lacey Strom, sophomore setter from Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Avery Warner, sophomore DS from Bismarck, North Dakota.
Hi, my name is Emily Daler. I'm a sophomore middle hitter from Piers, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Casey Jones. I'm a freshman DS from Ada, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Sipp. I'm a freshman outside right side hitter from Ada, Minnesota.
I'm Kaya Strom, sophomore setter from Fergus Falls, Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Faith Marion, a freshman outside hitter from Gloucester, North Dakota.
Everyone knows a career in healthcare is a solid choice, and for science-minded individuals who feel more at home in a lab than an office, a medical laboratory technician degree from M-State may be the perfect fit. Start your career today at minnesota.edu/MLT.
I'm KJ Cooper, freshman quarterback from El Paso, Texas.
My name is McKnight, sophomore kicker and punter from Colby, Utah.
Hi, my name is Griffith. I'm a freshman left tackle from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Turbo Green, sophomore receiver from that way, Kansas City.
Isaiah Griffin, sophomore wide receiver, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
My name is Joey DeMarco. I'm a sophomore safety, and I'm from DPSC, Illinois.
Dan Tag, freshman linebacker, Mount Morrison. Joko S. Sanders, sophomore linebacker, Greenville, Mississippi.
T-shirt, freshman wide receiver from Buffalo, Minnesota.
Juan Lara, sophomore turner from Lexington, Texas.
Woody Grancy, sophomore, Aquayo Line. I'm from East Wayne, Illinois. Rondarius Gregory, running back, sophomore, Nashville, Tennessee. Those Spartans.
Don't settle for just any job. M-State's here to help you launch a rewarding career in the healthcare industry as an entry-level limited scope operator. Learn more today at minnesota.edu/limited scope radiography. We all know that learning a new skill like sign language can take a lot of time and a lot of patience, which is why at M-State, we speed things up. Start your journey today at minnesota.edu/American Sign Language. Meet Angela. Angela always wanted a job in the medical field. But rather than direct patient care, she preferred working behind the scenes. Angela ended up finding the perfect program at M-State, Health Information Technology. Health Information Technology, or HIT, is the practice of acquiring, analyzing, and protecting digital and traditional medical information vital to providing quality patient care. HIT professionals are experts in managing patient information and health records. It's one of the fastest growing occupations and also prepares graduates to work in nursing homes, insurance companies, and consulting firms. Even after Angela's family relocated to Alaska, she was able to continue her program uninterrupted due to the convenient online nature of the HIT program. If you're like Angela and also need the freedom and flexibility to be successful in launching your new career, get your start with the M-State HIT program today.
If you're a student or a parent or a community member wondering why people should choose M-State when there are so many options around, I want to tell you should choose M-State because of the employees who work here and our focus on student success. We really are, in every aspect of our work, focused on changing lives and making a difference in our communities. Not every college or institution can say that, and I can tell you that we not only say it, but students say it to us and they feel it every single day. It's really hard to describe what's different about M-State. So if you're thinking about colleges or just wondering what is that difference, what is that thing that people talk about, I'd encourage you to come to one of our campuses for a visit. And certainly if you're here, I'd also encourage you to reach out to me directly, and I can tell you from experience as a graduate of this institution that it's a special place and we look forward to serving you.
My name is Brooke Hovland. I'm a sophomore right side from Underwood, Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Lucy Kurz. I'm a sophomore middle hitter from Fisher, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Bailey Marty. I'm a sophomore libero from Chicago, Minnesota. Hi, my name is Kendra Emery. I'm a freshman outside DS from East Grand Forks, Minnesota.
Hi, my name's Elena Anderson. I am a sophomore middle right side hitter and I'm from Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Lacey Strom, sophomore setter from Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Avery Warner, sophomore DS from Bismarck, North Dakota.
Hi, my name's Emily Daylor. I'm a sophomore middle hitter from Piers, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Casey Jones. I'm a freshman DS from Ada, Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Kaylee Sipp. I'm a freshman outside right side hitter from Ada, Minnesota.
I'm Kai Strom, sophomore setter from Fergus Falls, Minnesota.
Hi, my name is Faith Marion, a freshman outside hitter from Foster, North Dakota.
Everyone knows a career in healthcare is a solid choice, and for science-minded individuals who feel more at home in a lab than an office, a medical laboratory technician degree from M-State may be the perfect fit. Start your career today at minnesota.edu/MLT. Got a passion for power sports? Let's make it a career at M-State.
Welcome to the Creation Shop. This is a pottery sculpture workshop inspired by my cartoon character Tom. Within this space, I teach classes, individual, private classes. If they feel more comfortable with somebody else, we can do 2 people, families, parties. And we even opened up the doors to a team building exercise for a local business downtown. So in 2012, I studied in China. Coming home from China, I attended school at M-State Fergus Falls. My professor was Lori Charest. Here I was doing, the hand building and 3D advanced pottery classes, and this was an opportunity for me to continue my skills. The Creation Shop has a fun and inspiring nature. I think that once people start to feel that and feel the space and get energized in this space, it's something that can be much bigger.
I'm KJ Cooper, freshman quarterback from El Paso, Texas.
My name is Carson McKnight.
We'll see if the Spartans can make some adjustments. He's been under a lot of pressure. The Yellowjackets defense has been quick to the ball and quick to penetrate the line. So we'll see if the Spartans can make some adjustments and get the offense going here in the second half. Defensively, Spartans have been very good, limiting the Yellowjackets for the most part. But got to find a way to get some points on the board here. as we're about to kick it off here in the second half of play, as it will be Julius Boutrup Eriksson, the kicker. He's going to send it down as A.J. Conte stands at his own 10-yard line for the Spartans. I believe he's right next to Denzel Miller as well, ready to return. And Boutrup Eriksson approaches the ball. He lets it fly, and it's going to go right to A.J. Conte, who fields it at the 2-yard line. Here comes Conte up across the 15, tripped up and brought down. Another great special teams play by Rochester, and this time it was Michael Coble flying in to trip up Conte. And the Spartans, again, not with the best of field position. A.J. Conte has been outstanding all year long, returning kicks, but the Yellowjackets so far have been able to contain them. And M State will start 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. And KJ Cooper back out on the field, and going out wide left for M State is Eustace McGowan. And Hurst slot right for M State, as Cooper's going to hand it off to Rondarius Gregory. Gregory trying to turn the corner, bangs his way ahead up to about the 18-yard line. And that'll be a short gain of a couple maybe. And Rondarius Gregory, a quiet first half, only 5 carries in the first half for 9 yards. And he got 2 on that one. 2nd down and 8 for the Spartans, with the ball at their own 18-yard line. And Cooper out of the gun. Wide left is McGowan. And Cooper takes a snap, gets it to Gregory. Gregory meeting a wall of white jerseys, and it's going to be another short gain. And here comes a penalty thrown at the end. It looks like maybe the Yellowjackets did a little something extra at the end. The Spartans seem to be, sideline seems to be happy about it, but we'll see. You never know what the officials saw or have up their sleeve here. So it was a short run, and it's going to be a personal foul on Rochester. So that's going to move the ball up 15 yards. Now that's a big play. The Spartans were looking at probably 3rd at 7 or 8, and now they're going to have a first down. And the ball's going to be moved up all the way up to the 35-yard line, and opportunity for the Spartans to grab some momentum here. Trailing 12-3. We're a minute into the 3rd quarter. Number 2 in NJC Division III football, the undefeated Spartans against number 5 ranked Rochester. Back to pass. Cooper under pressure, stepped up, tripped up, and he is sacked, brought down. It looked like the man that tripped him up was number 58, Martell Williams, the defensive tackle from Melrose Park, Illinois. And that'll be a big loss. Yeah, that's going to be a loss of 10 as Cooper dropped well back and went to the ground and sacked there. I'm going to credit it to Martell Williams as the player who knocked him off balance and got him to his knees. So 2nd and 20 here now. So after the big penalty, Spartans lose a bunch of those yards, and they face a 2nd and long, 2nd and 20. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's Cooper. KJ back to pass across the middle. Pass is complete. I believe it's complete. And it looks like about a 7 or 8 yard gain to around the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. And I think it's going to be an 8-yard gain. Pass completed to Eustace McGowan. Eustace had a 30. I'm sorry, it was Isaiah Griffith who had the 32-yard reception earlier in the game. But that's an 8-yard gain for McGowan. Well, we'll give him 9 on the play, actually. And it'll be 3rd down and 11. 12:25 to play, 3rd quarter. Rochester 12, M State 3. Spartans trying to stay undefeated. Got some work to do here in the second half. Cooper back to pass. Under some pressure. Now scrambling to his right. Looking downfield across the middle. Tried to get it to Gregory. Incomplete. Really a tough pass for him to make across his body. Trying to fit it into Gregory, and it's incomplete. And a punting situation here for the Spartans on 4th and 11. with the ball at their own 34-yard line. So Carson McKnight will come on to punt. He will be punting against the wind here. And back deep for Rochester. It's hard to see the number. I think it might be Caleb Waldron, but don't quite have the angle on the number. The snap is low. McKnight does get it off nicely. And knocked down. Now there's a penalty marker in the area of McKnight. So it might be a roughing the punter or running into the kicker. If it's running into, that wouldn't be a first down. If it's roughing the kicker or the punter, it would be a first down. So we'll see. The punt went out of bounds at the Rochester 41. Yeah, the Spartans are going to decline the penalty. They're going to take the result of the punt rather than the 5-yard penalty. The 5-yard penalty would have made it 4th and 6 and still a punting situation rather than mess with punting again. And the punt was almost blocked. Carson did a nice job of getting the ball off before the defense got there. So 4th. Oh, are they going to replay it? Yeah, I don't know why the ball is up at the 38-yard line. We're going to wait here and see what's going on as the officials talk it over. The punt looked like it went out of bounds at the 41-yard line of Rochester. Yeah, I think there was some confusion. Yeah, I think the officials marked up a 5-yard penalty, and the Spartans had declined it. They had announced that they had declined it, and now the ball is coming back. Well, a little farther than I thought. They're going to mark it at the 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Rochester at the 38. Spartans decline the penalty. They take the result of the punt rather than trying to punt it again and have it risk being blocked. It'll be 1st and 10 Rochester at their own 38-yard line. And here is Christie out of the gun. Play action pass, back to pass. Ton of time across the middle, incomplete. Good coverage in the secondary by the Spartans. It was wide of Aiden Pendleton, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 as the rain starts to come down here a little bit here at M State. So, is there a penalty here? I missed the penalty. And it's going to be on Rochester. They're marking the ball back. It went back 5 yards. I didn't see what it was. Holding would have been 10 yards, though, you'd think. Anyway, it's 1st and 15 is what we're at, regardless of what the penalty is. Rochester, they're replaying 1st down, but it's 1st and 15. Here's the handoff. And it's Sims banging his way right up the middle for a short gain. Gets it up to the 35-yard line. Looks like a gain of a couple. Sims was the primary ball carrier for Rochester in the first half. He had 13 carries, only 32 yards. He picks up 2 on that play, so he's up to 14 carries for 34 yards. And it'll be 2nd and 13 for the Yellowjackets at their own 35-yard line. 11:28 to play, 3rd quarter. Rochester 12, M State 3. And here is Christie out of the gun. He's back to pass. Under some pressure, and he's met, and he's dropped. Down back at the 21-yard line, coming flying in was Jacob Dreetz making the play. And there's a big one there for the Spartan defense. The Spartan defense has played well today, as he is dropped back at the 24-yard line. 11-yard loss on that sack by Jacob Dreetz. So 3rd and long. It'll be, if we want to get exact, it'll be 3rd and 24 for Rochester. This is if you're the Spartans, you don't want to have a silly automatic 1st down penalty or something like that. But got to get the stop here. And they're going to hand it off to Sims. They're up the middle. Rochester happy to be conservative on 3rd and long, and it's going to be a very short gain, maybe a yard on the play for Laquan Sims. So 4th and 23 coming up. It'll be a punting situation for Rochester as their punter, Joseph Tarnew, comes onto the field. Standing at his own 47 for M State is Denzel Miller. Here's the snap. The punt is up. It's a good long punt. It goes over the head of Miller. It takes a favorable bounce for M State as it kind of holds its ground, and it is down at the 32-yard line. But a very nice punt there by Tarnew. And that is a punt of about 44 yards, and the Spartans will have it 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Well, a lot of athletics going on, and congrats to the Spartan volleyball team. They won both their matches here this weekend, and they won 3-1 last night at Riverland, and then today in 5. Good five-set match against Minnesota West, and we'll give you the scores of all those in a second. But a great weekend. Lady Spartan volleyball team winning 2 on the road. Here comes the forward pass. Comes to, I believe it's Griffin. Stays on his feet. Lunges forward and ends up picking up about 5 yards on the play. Yeah, that was, well, it was free tag, it looks like, I think. Was it free tag or Griffin? It's hard to see the, yeah, it was Griffin, number 6, I believe. I see number 8 walking over on the other side there. So Isaiah Griffin with the forward, little shovel forward pass, gains 5 yards on the play. And it's 2nd down and 5 for the Spartans at their own 37-yard line. They trail Rochester 12-3, 9:10 to play, 3rd quarter. Here's Cooper out of the gun. He mishandles the ball. It's on the ground. Now he's in trouble, and he's brought down. Now the ball is starting to get wet here. A little rain coming down, and that was the first time we've seen a slippery ball come into play, and it's going to cost M State as Cooper couldn't handle it. And it'll be a 7-yard loss. So Cooper out of the shotgun. Ball slipped out of his hands, went to the ground, and he had to go pick it up, and before he could do anything, the Yellowjackets were right there to bring him down. So a 7-yard loss will bring up 3rd and 12 for the Spartans. Freitag wide right, McGowan wide left, Griffin slot left, Hurst slot right, and Gregory in the backfield. Back to pass, and tripped up and brought down by the sack is Cooper. And the man flying in there to make that play was Hakeem McCullers. And it'll be 4th and long here for M State in a punting situation. So the Spartan offense continues to struggle. And Rondarius Gregory hasn't seen a lot of touches, but I know coming into the game there were a little bit of question marks about his health and whether he was able to go full go, and he certainly hasn't gotten the workload that he's accustomed to. As McKnight is on to punt, he's standing at his own 10-yard line. Carson lets it go. A high booming punt, fair catch signal being made and caught at the 35-yard line by Michael Coble. Very nice punt there by Carson McKnight. I think that might have been about a 50-yard punt, right in the neighborhood of 50 yards. So a great punt there by Carson McKnight. So getting back to the Spartan volleyball team this weekend, they got a sweep on the road. At Riverland on Friday night, they won in 4, lost the first set 26-28. Then they went 25-19, 25-21, 25-15 for the win. Then today at Minnesota West, they won in 5, and they lost the first 2 sets 22-25, 14-25. It must not have looked good. And then they won the 3rd set 27-25, 4th set 25-23, and won it 15-9. Wow, what a match that must have been. Congrats to the Lady Spartans on their 2 wins. Here's a first down play for the Yellowjackets. It's Sims up the middle, broke a couple tackles, and he's got a gain of about 8 or 9 yards on first down. One of Sims' better carries of the day, and it's a 9-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1. So the Lady Spartan volleyball team has now improved to 15-6 on the year. They are 9-0 in Southern Division play. What another great year for Abby Krauser and her team. Here out of the shotgun, here's Sims again. Handoff up the middle, first down, a little bit more up to the 48-yard line. They're going to say he was down at the 47. That'll be a gain of 3 yards, and it'll be a Rochester first down. 17 carries, 47 yards for Sims. 6:58 to play here in the third quarter.
Also starting at about 7:15 tonight, M-State will be doing a showing of the movie Disney's Pixar Coco.
So 1st and 10, Rochester approaching Spartan territory here. They lead M-State 12-3. And going out wide right for Rochester is Aiden Pendleton. And out of the gun is Christie. And he hands it off. Wrapped up quickly and brought down for maybe a half a yard gain was the running back Terrence Campbell. Campbell's first carry of the game. And it looks like no gain actually on the play on that run for Campbell. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for Rochester. Spartans will be on the road next week. Spartans have been at home a lot. This is the 3rd week in a row they've been at home. They'll be on the road next week at Mesabi Range in a MCAC matchup. Under 6 minutes to play now. 2nd and 10. Christie out of the shotgun, swings the ball left. Pass is complete, going right down to his knees. Making the catch is Trayvon Price. So that is a 6-yard reception for Price. Christie has now completed 10 passes for 99 yards in the game. And a big 3rd down and 4 coming up with Rochester in M-State territory at the 47-yard line. Price now wide left. And Christie working shotgun again. They hand it off up the middle and stopped and pushed back. Only a gain of a yard, maybe 2, but it's going to be short of the first down. As it was Moses Hancock on the carry. And really not much of a gain at all on that play. His knees went down earlier than I thought. No gain on the play. And it's 4th and 3 in a punting situation here again for Rochester. Rochester tried to fake a punt earlier. The Spartans weren't fooled and stopped it. Joseph Tarno has a good day punting here, so he'll get another opportunity. And he lets it go. Good high punt. And the Spartans are going to let it take a bounce, and it will plunge into the end zone, into the trees. And it will be a touchback, and the Spartans will take over and start up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So we mentioned M-State football on the road next week. Spartans will be at Mesabi. Rochester will be at home, and what would be a great matchup at home against North Dakota State College of Science in Rochester a week from today. And a little bit of rain coming down. Has it stopped here a little bit? Yeah, it seems to have stopped maybe a bit. I'll open up the windows again. As hopefully the rain holds off. Some Spartan Fest activities right after the football game here being held, and we're going to have a movie out here. Cooper back to pass on 1st down in trouble. Rushes up into the pocket, and he's brought down. He might have, did he gain a yard or he lose a yard? It was pretty close. Yeah, he is brought down. That would be considered a sack, but a very short loss of a yard. So 2nd and 11 here now. And Spartan offense just has continued to struggle here to solve this defense. The Yellowjackets have been able to put some pretty good pressure on KJ Cooper, and he's been under duress quite a bit, and he was under duress there. So Cooper out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side is Rondarius Gregory in the backfield. And they will give it to Rondarius. He's got some room, turning the corner, 20, 25 to the 30. Breaks the tackle down the sideline to the 40 to midfield. Breaks another tackle, 30, 20, and he's finally knocked out of. No, he stays on his feet into the end zone. That is an M-State touchdown. I'm looking for penalty flags. I don't see any. What a run by Rondarius Gregory, and just like that, the complexion of this game has changed instantly, and it's now 12-9. And it looked like 3 different times the Yellowjackets were going to knock Rondarius down or knock him out of bounds. One of the Yellowjackets caught up to him at the 15 and drilled him forward, and somehow he stayed on his feet and into the end zone for an 81-yard touchdown run. And we mentioned that Rondarius had been struggling to get loose, but he is a big play waiting to happen, and there it was. 81-yard touchdown run for Gregory. McKnight on for the extra point. He lines it right through the uprights. The extra point is good. And just like that, the struggling Spartan offense has struck, and they are within 2. It's now 12-10. M State trails Rochester by 2. 3:35 to play in the third. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with a kickoff in just a moment. Now 12-10 is the score after Rondarius Gregory. Wow, what a run that was. And now the rain decides to kick up again here for just a bit. It just doesn't decide what it wants to do. But Gregory numerous times looked like Rochester might get him down, turned the corner, and was able to go 81 yards. What a play by the All-American running back for M State. And Carson McKnight, as he does, knocks the extra point through, and it's now 12-10. Rochester leads it by 2. And McKnight getting ready to kick it away here for M State. And back deep for Rochester's Jalen Jackson. And I believe it might be Neltravion Price. And here's a low bounding kick. It's picked up at the 30, up to the 35-40, brought down at the 42-yard line. Spartans decided to go with a low bouncing kick, and it was returned by Caleb DuPaul. And Rochester will start with pretty good field position here. And they'll start at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, we'll see if the Spartan defense here have been playing great football. The only points that Rochester's got off the Spartan regular defense is the field goal. And the other scores were a safety off the special teams and then an offensive fumble that was returned for a touchdown. Now there's a fumble. The ball is jarred loose, and it's still on the ground. It's picked up by the Spartans to the 30, 20, 10, and touchdown. Unbelievable play as it was returned by A.J. Conte. I believe it was A.J. I want to make sure it was. But the ball was knocked loose on the run, and it bounced numerous times towards the Spartan sideline. It looked like the Yellowjackets would get to it. It took one more little crazy hop, and A.J. Conte was right there to run it into the end zone. And it was about a 37-yard, I'm going to estimate, fumble recovery. There's the big play we were talking about again. Man, how things can change in a hurry. And McKnight on to kick the extra point. Now the snap is low, and McKnight isn't even get a chance to kick it, as they'll just have to jump on top of the ball. So extra point is going to be failed, and that's a result of the slippery ball that both teams are going to have to get used to with this rain coming down a bit. But A.J. Conte, 37-yard fumble recovery, and the Spartans are now up 16-12. They have taken the lead in a blink of an eye. So we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with more Spartan football after this.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M State in Fergus Falls. From everything I've heard from students who went to M State, the campus life is awesome. It's not just go to your class, go do your homework, repeat the next day. I mean, there's a lot going on at M State in Fergus Falls.
Yeah, and that kind of adds to that whole picture of the holistic student and really kind of developing some of those areas that you may not get in the classroom or at work.
A lot of students tell me, I wish it was a 4-year school because they have so much fun in the 2 years.
Yeah, it's hard to leave. It's hard to say goodbye as a student and to see our students go too. But you're always going on to bigger and better things.
Lauren Proles. She is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M-State in Fergus Falls.
Unbelievable turn of events in the last 20 seconds or so that the 30 seconds or so that the clock has ran. The Spartans have got a couple touchdowns, and now they have regained the lead as McKnight hits a low bounding kick again, and it's picked up again and drilled at the 30-yard line. Man, what a tackle there, May. That was Theo Fourier with a special teams tackle. And it'll be 1st and 10 Rochester at their own 30. The Spartans electing against the wind to kick some of these low bounding kicks. And they almost got to the ball there in time to almost maybe can act as a small opportunity for an onside type kick. But they picked it up, but Fourier was there and drilled them down. And it'll be 1st and 10 Rochester at their own 30-yard line. 3:13 to play, third quarter. Spartans 16, Rochester 12. M-State trying to stay undefeated here. And now the whistle blows. Play dead, and the Spartans call a timeout here. So the Spartans will use a timeout to talk things over. And yeah, again, quick recap. We mentioned coming out of Rochester leading 12-3 at the half. Spartans came out, and their first possession stalled out. The offense had been struggling. They got the ball back, and Rondarius Gregory, a spectacular 81-yard touchdown run down the near sideline that seemed like 3 or 4 times he might be tackled or pushed out of bounds. And the dramatic one was the very end where the Yellow Jacket finally caught up with him and hit him in the back, which seemed was going to knock him out, but he stayed on his feet and kept going. And then the first play after that, from scrimmage for Rochester, a fumble, and A.J. Conte, a 37-yard fumble return. So it's 16-12 Spartans back on the field. Rochester 1st and 10 at their own 30. Christie back to pass, looking deep down the right sideline, and it overthrows everyone, and it's incomplete. So second down here coming up for Rochester. Christie, I have unofficially 10 of 16 throwing the ball for 99 yards. A lot of the passes of the shorter variety today for Christie. So 2nd and 10. Christie out of the gun again. 2 receivers each side. Wide left for Rochester is Travion Price. Handoff goes to Sims, trying to get outside right. He's got some room down the right sideline. I think he's got the first down as he's forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So some success getting to the outside near their own sideline, an 11-yard run for Laquan Sims. And I believe that should be a Rochester first down. It is. 18 carries, 58 yards for Laquan Sims. Laquan Sims, the running back from Westville, New Jersey. Under 3 minutes to play. We're at 2:45 to play, third quarter. M-State 16, Rochester 12. And here is Christie out of the gun. And they're going to hand it off to Sims. Cuts up the middle, breaks one tackle, able to lunge forward for a little positive yardage as he is brought down at the 44-yard line for a gain of 3 yards. That'll bring us to a 2nd down and 7. Rochester on the day with 74 rushing yards. They have 99 yards through the air. Not a ton of yards going back and forth here. Spartans pretty much doubled their offensive output with that 81-yard run for Gregory. As back to pass is Christie across the middle, had his man, but it's incomplete. Not able to bring it in was Zachary Cowan. Coming across the middle, so incomplete pass, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7 now for the Yellow Jackets. With 1:51 to play in the third quarter. Yeah, the Spartans on the ground, they have 95 yards and then about 88 through the air. So yeah, Gregory's run pretty much doubled their offensive output here on that last play. 3rd and 7, back to pass. Christie looking deep down the right side, and it's over the head, incomplete. He tried to get it to Cowan on the far sideline, and it's going to bring up 4th and 7. Coverage there. Nice job on the coverage there for M State by Marcus Serrano. So a punting situation here for Rochester again.
I've been up here looking at number 77's hair. Hayden Carver was spending some time with that hair.
So 1:45 to play here in the third quarter. 16-12 is the score. And going back deep to receive for M State will be Denzel Miller. He's standing at his own 20-yard line. It's Joseph Tarnu ready to punt it away, and he lets it go. Another good punt. He does a nice job. And a fair catch signaled and received by Miller at the 19-yard line. Spartans will start their drive, 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. That was after a 37-yard punt by Tarnu. Homecoming weekend here at M State. And the Lady Spartan volleyball team, a nice sweep. Looked like an unbelievable match today that they pulled off at Minnesota West in Worthington. Got down 2 sets and then won the 3rd set 27-25, the 4th set 25-23, and then finished it off 15-9. So Spartan offense back on the field. See if they can keep up some of the action. There's a little shovel pass to Griffin. He's got some room to the 20, 25. Griffin across the 30, knocked down around the 32, out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And that's a little shovel pass, so that's a forward completed pass. And that's the second time they've run that for Griffin. And he's got 3 catches for 52 yards in the game here today. And a first down for the Spartans. They'll have it, the ball just shy of the 33-yard line. And Cooper works out of the gun. Gregory in the backfield. He's back to pass across the middle. Pass is complete to Griffin for a short gainer. And he is brought down, wrapped up by a few Yellowjackets. In there on the tackle for Rochester was Devonta Roberts. Griffin having a nice game for the Spartans. Picks up 5 on the play. 4 catches, 57 yards for Isaiah Griffin. Cooper has now completed 10 passes for 108 yards. 40 seconds to play, third quarter. M State 16, Rochester 12. It was 12-3 Rochester at the half, but back-to-back huge plays for M State have given the Spartans a lead, and they have the ball with 2nd and 5. Cooper back to pass, swings it over left side. Now there's some contact there. The Spartans looking for a penalty. And I'm surprised that there wasn't one. There was some clear contact there as the pass was intended for Rick Gross. But it is going to be incomplete. No penalty called there. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Spartans. With 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the clock has stopped. And be big for the Spartans to keep this drive going and keep that momentum that they've quickly shifted late in the third quarter. You know, they can keep the ball in their possession, get a first down here before the fourth quarter starts. So here is Cooper, Gregory in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Rondarius, trying to get outside. Gregory hesitates, tripped up, forced out of bounds, and he's going to be short of the first down. He maybe picked up a yard on the play before he was knocked out of bounds. Yeah, we'll give Rondarius 2 yards on the play, and it'll bring up 4th down and 3. So Gregory, 8 carries, 94 yards today, including the huge touchdown. So 3rd and 3, and that will be the end of the final play of the third quarter. So we will take a break. Don't go anywhere. Great matchup here at homecoming weekend for M State. Spartans have regained the momentum. They lead at 16-12 at the end of 3. We'll take a break. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right after this.
Laura Quaintance in studio with us. Laura is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls. Not everybody that's in your music program is going to make a career out of music, right?
Exactly. They don't have to at all. We have students who love to be a part of the department as music makers. We have students that intend to make a profession out of it, and so they get to choose. There are students that decide to take our music theory courses and our survey courses thinking they may become a music major. They also can take all their generals in addition to it, so they're safe either way. And so it's a win-win for students students that are interested in music, but we have a variety every semester, and that's the beauty of the community college liberal arts opportunities.
Laura Quainton, she is the choral director at M State in Fergus Falls.
And welcome back here to M State. It is punting situation for the Spartans here. First play of the fourth quarter. McKnight ready to punt it away, standing at his 26. Penalty marker goes down. High punt. And over to receive it. Now the ball is fumbled. It's knocked loose. It's knocked loose. It's jarred down, and diving on the football are the Spartans, and we'll see what the penalty is over here on the near side, though. The penalty went in the air as the ball was snapped, but the Spartans recovered the fumble. But is it going to come back? What a play by Chris Heidel diving on the football to recover the fumble. Man, it's going to be on Rochester, and the Spartans, Rondarius Gregory giving the official the signal that yes, we will decline that penalty and let the play stand. The ball went through the hands of the returner for Rochester, went backwards, looked like he might get to it, but Heidel came in flying in and dove on the football, and now the Spartans have it first and goal at the Rochester 7-yard line as the big plays continue to mount here in the Spartans' favor in the second half. So, first and goal at the 7. Now they got everything under control here, and it is KJ Cooper out of the shotgun. He is back to pass. He's scrambling to his left. Now he's going to go on the move. Inside the 5, Cooper into the end zone. That's an M-State touchdown. KJ Cooper, a 7-yard run. No penalty markers on the field. And the Spartans have advanced their lead up to 10 points at 22-12. Good recognition there by Cooper. Running to his left, and there weren't many Yellowjackets in front of him, and he was able to scamper to the left side into the end zone. So the big fumble recovery by Chris Heidel leads directly to the touchdown run for KJ Cooper. And here is Carson McKnight on to try to kick the extra point. Snap is down, the kick is up, and McKnight launches it through the goalpost. It's good. McKnight extra point is good. And our score, the Spartans lead it 23-12 with 14:41 to play. So we're going to take a quick break. Spartans got the momentum back. 14:41 to go. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more Spartan football after this.
Jim Iverson is with us from M State. Jim is the director of bands. When a student comes to you and says, I want to be involved in your band program, what's the commitment level? I mean, how much are you expecting from me rehearsal-wise? What are assigned projects that we have? How would you answer that question? How much time is going to be commanded from the music department?
Depends on their area of study. If they are going into being a music major, I probably have a little bit higher expectations for them as far as, practice time and things like that are requirements for their instrument. Because we want to send them off to a 4-year institution then, hopefully after they've been at M State. When they're off to that new institution, they need to be coming in with the expectations that college has. But on the other hand, students that are just there for playing for their own pleasure, it can be a matter of just showing up for rehearsals on a Tuesday evening.
Jim Iverson from M State, he's the director of bands.
Carson McKnight kicks it into the end zone on the ensuing kickoff, and Rochester's going to take over on the touchback, 1st and 10 at their own 25. Talk about momentum in sports, and momentum in sports is something else, as the Spartans really, offensively especially, didn't have anything going. And late in the third quarter, Rondarius Gregory breaks an 81-yard touchdown run. A few moments later, A.J. Conte, a fumble recovery for a 37-yard touchdown. And then the Spartans punt it away. The Yellowjackets fumble. They get it at the 7-yard line. KJ Cooper runs it in. And just like that, Spartans are up by 11 after trailing 12-3 at the half. It's 23-12. But Rochester, plenty of time to work here. 14:40 to play in the game, and it's 1st and 10, Rochester from their own 25-yard line. Back to pass is Christie across the middle. Good reception there. Is complete as that goes to Aiden Pendleton. Aiden Pendleton, his third reception of the game for 13 yards. Third reception for a total of 40 yards, 13 on the play. Here's Sims on the carry as Rochester hurries up to the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for Sims trying to get to the left side. Looks like it was no gain on the play. So Laquan Sims now 20 carries, 61 yards, no gain on that play. And it'll be, yeah, he lost maybe half a yard. We'll still call it 2nd and 10 with 14 minutes to play in the game. And here is Silas Christie leading the Rochester offense here. Out of the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Sims in the backfield. Now here's a whistle. Penalty marker goes to the ground. And I think it's going to be a delay of game. Yeah, interesting. They rushed to the line of scrimmage on a hurry up on their previous play, and now they get hit with a delay of game penalty. So that'll move them back 5 yards. It'll go back to the 33-yard line. 2nd and 15 now for Rochester. Christie out of the shotgun. And he is back to pass. Stepping up under some pressure. Lofts it down the far sideline, and it's incomplete. Not much going on. Good pressure by the Spartans on the coverage for M-State. It was Denzel Miller. And here comes 3rd down and long now. 3rd and 15. 13:40 to play in the game. I have Christie 9 of 17 throwing the ball for 99 yards in the game. Now the Spartan sideline and fans getting into it here. The defense chance on 3rd and 15 for Rochester. Back to pass is Christie. Looking, he's got time. He's going to send it down the far sideline, and it's picked off. And it's Miller who picks it off. I think he stayed in bounds. Did he stay in bounds? Oh, yeah, he stayed in bounds, and that's a big play there by Denzel Miller. And now the Spartans get the ball back. Another turnover. It was the story of the first half were the Spartan turnovers. M-State had 4 first-half turnovers. And now the Yellowjackets returning the favor. They have 3 second-half turnovers. And that'll give the Spartans the football in Rochester territory at the 48-yard line. Good job there by Miller. Christie had some time. Great job by the secondary of M-State to keep the coverage. And then for Miller to finish it off with the interception. Now the Spartans in a position to really put themselves in good shape if they can go down and get a score. They're up 11. 13 and a half minutes to play in the game, and Gregory gets the carry. Gregory gets by one man, breaks another, up across the 40 to the 38-yard line. He's going to be close to a first down, and I think he might have it. That's going to, it's going to be marked at the 37. It's an 11-yard gain. Gregory goes over 100 yards in the game. He has 9 carries for 105 yards, while 81 of those came on one play. But the Spartans move the chains. 1st and 10. As they have it at the Rochester 37-yard line. Going out wide right will be Marquez Hurst. Going out wide left this time will be Rick Gross. Dreetz and Gregory in the backfield. It's Rondarius Gregory. Up the middle, he's got some room across the 30, up to the 25. And now the running game is really opening up late in this game, and he's got 12 yards on that play. So Gregory getting things going after that big run in the third quarter of 81 yards for a touchdown. He got 11 on the previous play, and he got 12 on this one, up to 117 yards. And 1st and 10. And 1st and 10 for the Spartans at the 25-yard line of Rochester. Cooper out of the gun again. See if they keep going to Gregory or not. And there's a whistle. Flag goes down. And we'll see what that was. See if the Spartans moved a little bit there. And well, it might be on Rochester. I don't know if Rochester got in the neutral zone. So we'll see. Waiting for. It is going to be offsides on Rochester, and that is going to make it a very manageable 1st and 5. So the Yellowjackets have been mounting the penalties here, a lot more than the Spartans have this game. 7 penalties in the game for Rochester. And that'll bring the Spartans to the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of Rochester. 12 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the game. Spartans trailed 12-3 at the half, but they are up 23-12 now with 12 minutes to go. And Cooper will work out of the gun. Same formation, Hurst out wide right, Gross wide left. And here is Rondarius Gregory with a handoff. He's got some room. 15, pushing his way forward up almost to the 11. Looks like he got a first down and a 9-yard gain for Rondarius Gregory. And the holes are opening wide up here as the offensive line really starting to get it done here in the 4th quarter for the Spartans. The ball is marked at the 12, so there'll be an 8-yard run for Gregory, up to 125 yards rushing in the game. So 1st and 10, M State at the Rochester 12-yard line, 11:20 to play. And Cooper out of the gun, same formation again in the backfield is Dreetz and Gregory. It's Gregory. Rondarius trying to work outside right. Now cuts up to the left inside the 10, maybe to the 9. A short run there for Rondarius. Now they're going to mark it at the 10 for a 2-yard gain. So 2 yards for Gregory. 10:50 to play. Clock continues to roll. Spartans trying to improve to 6-0 on the year. They are rated number 2 in the NJCAA Division III national rankings. Rochester's rated number 5 in those rankings, and we saw why, especially the way they played on the defensive side of the ball most of the game. But Spartans with a great opportunity to put themselves in great position here. It's 2nd and 8. Here's the handoff to Gregory, and nothing there. The defense got straight through and was able to bring Rondarius down for a significant loss on the play. And it looks like a loss of 3 or 4 yards. They're going to put it at the 14-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play for Rondarius Gregory. So 3rd and 12 now for the Spartans. Inside of 10 minutes to play in the game. 3rd and 12 for M State at the Rochester 14-yard line. Certainly in field goal range for Carson McKnight. The wind this game has been heading downwind for where the Spartans would be, although the flag here isn't, well, now it's kicking up just a little bit. But 3rd and 12, here's Cooper back to pass. Across the middle, incomplete. The ball was too high for Marquez Hurst coming across the middle. And it'll bring up 4th down and a field goal situation here as Carson McKnight will come onto the field. Yeah, Carson this year, he is 5 for 6 on field goal attempts, including his 35-yarder earlier today. Extra points, he is 25 for 27. He's just had a great year. He's a great player for the Spartans, and he will attempt a 32-yarder right here. The 32-yard field goal is up, and it is good. Once again, Carson McKnight does it again. That's a 32-yard field goal for Carson McKnight. He is now 6 for 7 on field goals for the year, and that gives the Spartans a 14-point lead, 26-12, with 9:31 to play in the game. We'll take a quick timeout. Spartans lead it 26-12 over Rochester. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Spartan Football on Channel 977.
Jeff Sands is a member of the music faculty at M State. As far as looking ahead to welcoming new students next year, high school students this year, should they start preparing now if they're wanting to get involved in the college here and specifically in the music department? Is it too early to get started in making your prep for next year?
Well, not really too early. I mean, we're really welcoming. I guess the real pressing thing is if you are a potential student and you're wanting to get a scholarship, because scholarship does require a little bit more of an application. And in music, we do have an audition that is along with that, as far as just participating, either in our courses or in our ensembles, it probably doesn't require as much advanced work or preparation to get ready for. They're probably already playing, like let's say if it's a high school student that's graduating, you're probably already performing in your high school ensemble. So if you're still planning on continuing performing in an ensemble with us, then it's simply a matter of registering for the course at M-State.
Jeff Sands from M-State in Fergus Falls.
Carson McKnight on the kickoff hits a low bouncing kick, and it's an effective one as the Yellowjackets just have to hurry and scramble to jump on top of the ball. They do it at their own 30-yard line as it was down by Caleb Waldron, and that was what the Spartans wanted to do. They didn't want to give the Yellowjackets a chance to run anything back. And Rochester will have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. M-State have outscored the Yellowjackets 23-0 here in the second half and now lead at 26-12. Yellowjackets led 12-3 at the half. So 1st and 10 Yellowjackets with Silas Christie at the quarterback spot, and it's Laquan Sims in the backfield, 2 receivers out to each side. And here's Christie. He's back to pass. Looks left, ball deflected in the air, tipped around, almost picked, and it goes down to the ground incomplete. The ball was deflected early. And man, almost another turnover. Rochester 3 turnovers in the second half. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 with the ball at the 30-yard line. Coming out right side, wide receivers for Rochester. Now Travion Price and Jalen Jackson, 2 receivers left, including Aiden Pendleton. And here is Christie, no one in the backfield. He's moving to his right, under pressure, setting up the screen, caught and drilled, pushed back, staying on his feet, but being sent back down for a loss, and a great job by the Spartans. It's going to be a completed pass for a loss of 2 or 3 yards. They set up the screen, and the Spartans weren't surprised, and in fact, the hit was made by Cheo Trotter, and it knocked the Rochester receiver back on his feet, and that was a good break for the Spartans that he stayed on his feet because it cost them, well, maybe it didn't cost them any yardage. They're going to give him the forward progress, I guess, but it'll be 3rd down and 10, so that was a completed pass, but no gain on the play, and a great hit there by Cheo Trotter. So Spartans, 3rd and 10 here, their defense a chance to really put the hurt on Rochester if they can get this defensive stop. 8.5 minutes to play in the game. M-State 26, Rochester 12. Here is Christie, shotgun. He's back to pass. Looking left, it is incomplete. Great coverage there by Trotter on the far side, as they tried to complete the pass over to, I believe it was Yahi Ali. Oh, maybe it was Aiden Pendleton. But it'll bring up 4th and 10 with 8:19 to play and a decision time, and it looks like they are gonna switch gears and bring on the punt team, it seems. 4th and 10 from their own 31, and despite being down 14, I think that's the right decision for Rochester to punt it away here farther back in their own territory. There's the punt. It's a low punt, takes a bounce at the 40, and it's picked up by Miller. He's going to run it across the 35 to the 36. And it'll be 1st down for the Spartans at the 36-yard line. Maybe a little risky play for Miller to try to pick up the ball under a little traffic there, but he handled it and got an extra 4 or 5 yards out of it. And the Spartans will have it 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line with 8:08 to play in the football game. Rondarius Gregory has gotten it going here as the game went on. He only had 5 carries for 9 yards in the first half, and or maybe 4 for 12. And it's really opened up. Busted off the 81-yard run and then had some really nice runs on the previous possession. Now the Spartans looking to throw it, trying to set up the screen pass. There it is to Gregory. Gregory at the 40, 45, cuts back, stays on his feet. 45, now breaking loose. Gregory is off to the races, to the 20, 15, 10, touchdown Spartans. What a perfectly set up screen play. They got it to Rondarius Gregory in the open field, and if he has it in the open field, he is dangerous, and it's a 64-yard touchdown reception for Rondarius Gregory from KJ Cooper. And the Spartans have opened things up here now, 32-12 with 7:52 left in the game. Man. And it's a 20-point lead. McKnight on to kick the extra point. And we mentioned Rondarius coming into the game wasn't 100%, and that's why I thought maybe his workload was a little less than normal. The extra point is up and good for Carson McKnight once again as he continues to be outstanding kicking for the Spartans. 33-12 now. The Spartans have opened this thing up with the lead with 7:52 to play in the game. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the kickoff after this. This is Spartan football on Channel 977 FM.
Today we're joined by Lori Charest, and Lori is the ceramics instructor at M State and a big part of the art program there. What do you enjoy most about being an instructor? I mean, obviously you love working with clay and ceramics through the years in your own business, but as far as being an instructor, what really excites you?
I do love the clay, but I love teaching. The students are so interesting. Every semester is a new cast of characters and a new set of challenges and accomplishments. And so I just really enjoy the students and the personalities of the students. And the classes are so small, so I really get to know them well.
Lori Charest from the art department at M State in Fergus Falls.
Man, what a turn of events here. Spartans have dominated the second half after struggling mightily in the first half. In fact, as late as 4 minutes ago in the third quarter, Spartans trailed 12-3. Well, the game clock since then has ticked off about 8 minutes, and in that span, the Spartans have outscored the Yellowjackets 30-0. As McKnight kicks it away, and he does what he does. He kicks it into the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Rochester. Yeah, it was 12-3. And then when Rondarius Gregory broke the long touchdown, the 81-yard touchdown, that was with 3:35 to go in the third. That got the Spartans within 2, 12-10. Since then, it's been an A.J. Conte 37-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. K.J. Cooper 7-yard touchdown run after a big fumble recovery by Chris Heidel. Carson McKnight 32-yard field goal. And then Rondarius Gregory 64-yard touchdown reception from K.J. Cooper. And now the Spartans seem to be running away here with it leading 33-12. There's still 7:52 to go in the game. And Rochester starts their drive 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now we got a new quarterback on the field for Rochester. We'll get that here in a second. They swing a screen pass off to the left side, and it's going to be completed, but for a loss. As the new quarterback for Rochester is Jalen Gardner. I believe that pass was completed to Jamari Williams. His second catch of the game, but it was for a loss of 2. So it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Yellowjackets from their own 23-yard line. 7:20 to play in the game. And here is Jalen Gardner out of the shotgun. 2-back set, looking left now. It's going to be another screen pass, and it's going to be a short gain as the pass is completed on the far sideline to Jalen Jackson. That's Jackson's first catch of the game, and it's going to be a 2-yard gain back to the original line of scrimmage. So 3rd down and 10 here for Rochester as we approach the 7-minute mark here in the game. Rochester not in any hurry either as well. And coming in with their backup quarterback here, Jalen Gardner, down 21. He's back to pass. Under some pressure. Now he's going to try to run with it. Gets to the 25, to the 30, up to the 35, and gets out of bounds just in time to get a first down. A good run there as Jalen Gardner gets out of bounds. That's an 11-yard run. And that will move the chains for the Yellowjackets. Make it a 12-yard run as they're going to mark it at the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10 Rochester at their own 37-yard line. 6.5 minutes to play here in the game. And Jalen Gardner will work out of the gun. He's got 2 receivers out to each side. Far right on the near side is Travion Price. And here is Gardner. He's looking left. He's going to swing it off again on the near side. It's complete, but that's going to be for a loss. So that's the 3 passes that Gardner has thrown have been very conservative swing passes over to the far sideline, and that's a completed pass to Jalen Jackson, but for a loss of a yard on the play. So Gardner with he's 3 for 3 passing the ball with 1 yard total. You don't see that too often. So 2nd down and 11, 5:45 to play in the game. Spartans on the precipice here of going 6-0 if they can finish this thing off here as Gardner back to pass. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run with it. He's up towards the 39 for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards on the play. And they're going to mark it at the 39-yard line. So it'll be a 3-yard gain. Chris Heidel makes the tackle for the Spartans. And Gardner will work out of the shotgun. Almost you feel like it's that the Yellowjackets have just feel like they aren't going to win this one the way they haven't been. But now they do complete the pass down the left side, and that is completed to Aiden Pendleton into Spartan territory to the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 20 yards on the play. I was just going to say, you just feel kind of the intensity and the urgency doesn't seem to be there like it was previously in the game for the Yellowjackets, but now they do hurry up to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10. Gardner back to pass complete, but a short gain and a quick tackle, a very nice tackle there made by Chris Heidel. So the catch there made for the Yellowjackets by Zachary Cowan. That's his 4th catch of the game for a total of 26 yards, only 1 yard gained on the play. As in play, clock continues to move with 4:10 to go. 33-12, M State with the lead. Spartans trailed 12-3 at the half. They've outscored the Yellowjackets 30-0 in the second half. Swing pass comes over near side to Cowan. He's across the 30 to the 29. That should be enough for a first down. And it looks like we have an injury here on the near side. One of the Yellowjackets is down. It was Cowan. After getting that first down reception, Spartans he was brought down on the near side by the M State sideline, and the Spartan coaches were calling for the trainer right away. Hopefully Cowan's going to be okay. The Rochester has their own trainer coming out as well, too. It's going to be a first down, as that was a gain of about 12 yards on the play for Cowan. And I'm hoping it's a cramp. It looks like one of those deals where the trainer's out massaging, trying to get the muscles back in shape here. So the situation, 3:56 to go, as we have an official's timeout as Zachary Cowan is being tended to on the near sideline. 3:56 to go. And I mentioned at halftime it was Rochester 12, M State 3. Probably the most down the Spartans have felt all year in this undefeated season. They couldn't get anything going offensively. They turned the ball over 4 times in the first half, and came out in the second half and really struggled offensively early in the second half. And then all of a sudden, when Rondarius Gregory does what he can do, busted off an 81-yard touchdown run that cut it to 12-10. It's like the floodgates open. And the very next play, when Rochester, after the ensuing kickoff, A.J. Conte, a 37-yard, he picked up the fumble, ran it in 37 yards. Then they had the Spartans recovered the fumble on the punt, set up a KJ Cooper run, then a McKnight field goal, and then Gregory a 64-yard screen pass touchdown, and it's just been a wave of momentum, giving the Spartans a big lead here, 33-12. Yeah, I think it was a cramp, thankfully, as Cowan now, after being taken care of, is jogging off the field. So we're back to action. 1st and 10 Rochester at the Spartan 29-yard line. 3:50 to go as the clock starts again, and it is Jalen Gardner out of the shotgun. No one in the backfield. 4 receivers right, 1 to the left, and here is Gardner. Back to pass across the middle, incomplete. Should have been caught, went off the hands of the running back, Terrence Campbell. So that'll stop the clock with 3:38 to go. 2nd and 10 here coming up. Spartans on the road next week. MC, this is their 3rd week in a row at home. Big 53-6 win over Vermilion 2 weeks ago, then a dramatic win 40-36 with a winning touchdown with 13 seconds to go to beat number 3 Nassau Community College out of New York. And then this game here, the 3rd consecutive home game, so the Spartans are going to be on the road here for their last few games. It'll be at Mesabi next week. 2nd and 10, Gardner back to pass, comes left side, deflected, almost picked off, and and it went down incomplete. If Deshaun Carter was there a split second earlier, it would have been a pick 6. But incomplete. And now 3rd down and 10 with 3:33 to play in the game. A lot of things going on with Spartan Athletics. Nationally ranked football team, nationally ranked volleyball team, Spartan golf team playing in the we'll have their national qualifier in Blaine starting a week from today, a 2-day event. And then basketball practice, Spartan men's and women's basketball, they're going to be getting going with their official practices. And games will start in mid-November. A lot of fun here, the athletics here at M State. Now there's a screen pass right side. Pass is complete. Not going to be enough for the 1st down. It'll be about a 6-yard gain. Now was there a fumble? I think the player was down. So it's going to be a completed pass on the near side to Cole Hermish. His first reception of the game. It was a 5-yard gain. And it'll bring up 4th and 5 here now for Rochester at the Spartan. Just past the Spartan 24-yard line. We just passed the 3-minute mark to go in the game. Spartans 32, Yellowjackets 12. 2 receivers to each side. And it's Jamari Williams in the backfield to the left of Gardner. Gardner back to throw on 4th down. Last gasp here for the Yellowjackets. Gardner, he's going to run with it. Flag goes down. Gardner bounces off. One man stays on his feet inside the 10 and slides to the 8-yard line, but there are a couple of flags on the play, and it is going to be a hold on Rochester that is going to bring this play back. So that's been a problem for the Yellowjackets today. 8 penalties in the game. I only got the Spartans for a couple penalties. So the hold is going to bring it back. They're going to mark it back from the 23-yard line. It's going to take it back to the 33-yard line. I'm sorry, the 34-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th and 15 on the 10-yard penalty. And it will certainly be a last gasp here for Rochester, trailing the Spartans 33-12. 4th and 15 as they have the ball at the M State 34-yard line. And out of the shotgun is Gardner. The back to pass launches it down the left side, and it is deflected, almost intercepted. It goes down incomplete. Actually, a better result for the Spartan. It would be an incomplete pass compared to the interception, as they will take over on downs. 1st and 10, and M State will have it at their own 34-yard line. 2:16 to play, and for a game that from the perspective of a Spartan fan was really a tough game to watch. A downer in the first half, 4 turnovers, mistakes on the offensive end. The defense has played well consistently throughout the game. But some mistakes made really for the first 40 minutes of the game, and then it just was an explosion by this Spartan team to take over this game. First down, handoff, and into the game, a new running back. It's going to be Champion Chromes, and Champion with a short gain on the play. Champion with his first carry of the game. He's been typically the man to get the carries if Rondarius Gregory is not, and Champion picks up, I think he picked up 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. We're now at 1:45 to go. And KJ Cooper's going to take his time, let as much of the game clock tick away here. And still waiting out the game clock, ready to work out of the shotgun. And it's going to go right back to Champion Chromes. Chromes cuts back to his left and pushed backward. It's going to be a little bit of a loss there on the play. Langston Bernie Reese, the defensive tackle, makes the tackle for the Yellowjackets. It'll be a loss of a yard on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So 3rd down and 8 with the ball at the 36-yard line. We are at the 1 minute mark to go in the game as the Spartans try to let the clock run down as much as they can here, as M State is going to improve to 6-0 on the year. What an outstanding come from behind victory for Corey Miller's team. And it is 3rd and 8. And here is Cooper. And he'll hand it off to Chromes. Chromes going up the middle, pushing the pile forward. He's going to be a little short of the first down. And I'm wondering if that might be the very last play of the game here. We'll see if it is. He's about a yard shy of the first down. And it sure looks like it will be the last play of the game, as no one's calling a timeout here, and I think there was a few enough seconds left inside the game clock to let the clock go. We're at 5 seconds, and it's about to become official as the clock expires. What a victory here today for the Spartans, finding themselves down 12-3 with 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. In the last 19 minutes of the game, M State outscores Rochester 30-0 to get the 33-12 win. Well, we're going to take a timeout. When we return, we'll take a 2-minute timeout, and when we return, we'll have the post-game show, recap the game. We'll also name our Spartan Booster Club player of the game as well. M State improves to 6-0 on the year. 33-12 is the final score. You're listening to Spartan Football on Channel 977 FM.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director of Campus Life and Housing at M State in Fergus Falls. So in your position, how much, and maybe you're still trying to figure this out too, but how much are you going to be relying on the students to have input and to come up with ideas and to spearhead some project that you had a hand in developing?
I mean, I think we rely very heavily on that because at the end of the day, we want our programming and our clubs and organizations to be something that the students are interested in. And that changes, you know, as the students change. So, I mean, that's always something that we want input from students on.
Lauren Proles, she is the Assistant Director